How's it going, everyone? My name is AJ, and today I'm going to talk about another popular health and fitness topic. Over the past 5 years, gluten-free diets have exploded onto the scene as the next best way to improve your overall health. Despite the fact that so many people have labeled gluten as the bad guy, the majority of the population doesn't really know what it is and why it's so bad for you. In this video, I am going to dissect this miracle diet and explain what gluten is, why it's gotten such a bad reputation over the past few years, and why so many people have switched to the gluten-free diet from a scientific perspective. To do this, I use peer-reviewed scientific articles published by researchers from across the globe. If you are interested to see where I am pulling my information from, I will leave my references in the description below. And without further delay, let's get started. So, what is gluten? Gluten is a protein composite made up of two smaller proteins called gliadin and glutenin. It is commonly found in sources of barley, rye, and wheat, and has many important features like making dough rise and adding chewy textures to certain foods like bagels, pizza, and donuts. Donuts. It is also considered a global protein source, and as a result is added to various vegetarian meals and to animal feed. So far this sounds all fine and dandy, but why does it get such a bad reputation? According to the World Journal of Gastroenterology, around 1 to 2% of the world's population have either a diagnosed wheat allergy or an autoimmune disorder called celiac disease. These people experience adverse health effects upon the consumption of gliadin. This causes a variety of symptoms such as bloating, joint pain, headaches, vomiting, diarrhea, the list goes on and on. To date, there is no cure for celiac disease or a wheat allergy, but the side effects can be managed if you stop consuming gliadin. As opposed to just singling out gliadin, manufacturers have adopted the practice of removing gluten entirely from their food. And this leads us to today's ever so popular gluten-free diet. So then you're probably asking yourself, AJ, I'm confused. If so few people are actually affected by gluten, then why have so many adopted the gluten-free diet? Let's take a closer look. To answer this question, I am going to highlight 3 popular reasons as to why so many people have switched over to the gluten-free diet, and then critique them based on what science says. Number 1, a gluten-free diet will help me lose weight. According to a 2015 Consumer Reports survey, 1/3 of Americans think that cutting gluten out of their diet will help them lose weight. That statement is partially true. A study out of the Journal of Nutritional Biochemistry found that gluten-free rats showed a reduction in weight gain and adiposity in comparison to their gluten-fed counterparts. I knew it! Never eating gluten again. Now hold on a second. There is also evidence out there that suggests the opposite. A study published out of the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition saw 91 out of 215 of the subjects actually gain weight after adhering to the gluten-free diet for 6 months. A similar study in 2011 found that 24% of their subjects actually showed an increase in BMI 2 whole points after only 90 days of gluten-free eating. So just because that some people have lost weight on the gluten-free diet does not mean that everybody is going to lose weight on this diet. Based on what science says, you might even gain weight. Number 2, gluten-free diets are more nutritious. After all, that's why gluten-free food is so much more expensive. It has to be more nutritious than the normal food, right? According to a recent study out of the British Journal of Nutrition, this is not entirely true. This group of researchers compared over 3,000 gluten-free and non-gluten-free food products from major supermarkets in their area and gave them a nutritional rating from 0.5 stars to 5 stars. On average, the gluten-free foods scored half a star worse than their non-gluten-free counterpart. The results from this study suggest that, if anything, the gluten-free diet may lead to nutritional deficiencies. Sure enough, there have been several studies that have shown nutritional deficiencies from a gluten-free diet, including iron, calcium, vitamin B12, and more. So if you are strictly comparing gluten-free food to its non-gluten-free counterpart, the evidence suggests that there is little to no additional benefit. Number 3. The doctor says I do not have celiac disease or a wheat allergy, but I still get an upset stomach after eating gluten. There is a medical disorder that has described this phenomenon, and that is called non-celiac gluten sensitivity. In order to be classified as NCGS, you must be tested negative for both celiac disease and a wheat allergy by a doctor, and you must show substantial improvement when switched to the gluten-free diet. Substantial improvement means either your symptoms significantly go down or they vanish entirely. But that being said, if you do get sick after eating bread or pizza or bagels or donuts, then the gluten-free diet may be your best option. So, based on all of this information, what can we take away from the gluten-free diet? Despite the evidence against it in non-affected individuals, I think it could be a good thing. When you remove gluten from your diet, you are also cutting out food that has a lot of sugar in it. If you replace these missing calories with more fruits, vegetables, and lean protein, you are going to feel better, your diet's going to be more nutritious, and you could lose weight. So as long as you're getting your daily nutrient uptake from other sources, I say go for it. But if your idea of a gluten-free diet is paying more for gluten-free pasta, breads, pizza, and haircuts, and thinking it'll work miracles, I think you're going to be setting yourself up for disappointment. So what do you think about gluten? Let me know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to like it and share it with your friends. And if you want to see me make more content, feel free to subscribe. I make new videos every Wednesday. In any case, thank you all so much for watching, and stay strong.